fondue. Petite touche fondue. Voilà ce que je pense. Toujours la grande question, écoute. Hello. I hope this is working. Woo. Hey Otto. Happy to see you, in a way. Is it working? Can you hear and see me? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah. I'm gonna have to put the fan on though. It's not a very noisy fan, so you shouldn't really hear anything from it. Hey Annette, hey Fairy Dust, hey Otto again. Let me know if you guys can hear and see. There's always such a long delay between me doing something and that being streamed on the video. Hey Mikey. It is so warm, it's pretty difficult to get the energy to do anything. Hey Nancy! Video and audio is great on my hand. Thank you so much, Fairy Dust. Thank you. I have gotten these 3 tubes of memory blue paint literally, 2 months ago, and they arrived like yesterday. I'm not bothered. I'm not gonna pressure and write to any company right now to say, hey, my stuff hasn't arrived, because honestly, yeah, I'm not surprised, but oh, what the fuck. Sorry, pardon my French. This Grigio di Pine is a pain in the butt. Ha ha ha. Okay, but how about you go back in there? No? Oh, yes. So yeah, I got these like last week, and the tubes were so warm, and it's been so hot here, and I hate it so much. It makes me feel like I'm super duper slow. I feel like my bones are warm. Such a weird feeling. Too warm, I did not consent to this, me neither. Hey Nicole, hi. Happy Caturday, everyone. Just gonna try and remove the paint from my finger. So I wanted a few of these memory blue paints to complete the weird palette I'd gotten from them. That didn't came with any yellow in there, so I got a yellow ochre because it's yellow, but it also fits well with the other more muted colors of the palette. Got neutral tint and Payne's Gray. There was a point to me getting these specific colors, but it's been so long since I ordered them that I'm not sure I remember. Do they say the pigments on this? I think... yeah, this doesn't really... Do they really not say the pigments on these? Oh no, okay, they do. They do. The neutral tint is made from a single pigment. It's in Italian, so I'm not gonna try and butcher that, but it's PBK26. And the Payne's Gray is made from Vat Blue 1. So I guess this must be PI 43 or 42. So it's synthetic because it's PI 42. Hey Dan! It's fine, it's fine. Nobody's late. I'm super duper slow anyway, so sluggish. I put my Mission Gold palette in the fridge because it was runny. Yeah, honestly. Hey Misha! How is everyone? Excellent question. I'm okay. It's definitely way too warm, and I'm really not good with that. Like, it usually messes me up in some way, like stomach or something. And like I said, like I feel warm, like inside, really like deep. Like if I touch skin is not that warm, but I feel like I can never cool down because I'm too warm under the skin. Sounds insane, but yeah. Hey Maureen, hi. I also sprayed lemon juice in my eye earlier, so I'm like, We have a couple of days grace, but we will be heating up next week. Oh my gosh, I wish we could bottle up the cold. Oh, this one's quite okay. I'm eternally grateful for my central air. Oh, I can see why. Miss that, are you sick or just warm? Just warm. It's super duper hot out there today. Not in Scotland. I definitely have to move over there. I need to get rid of all my extra stuff and move to Scotland. Cold baths. I'm not a bath person that much. I really have a hard time with things that are basically just about like being there and doing nothing. Cold watermelon right out of the fridge helps. Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm drinking cool water out of the fridge because I don't really have watermelon, but I love watermelon. It's just a hassle to bring home. Those things are big. Nicole says, I had a good week. First summer with central air. It's set to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, that sounds great. We were supposed to get an portable AC unit a while ago, but because of all the shipping delays and the posting delays with COVID, the first one we ordered never really got here. And since there was no way of getting any sort of tracking, like we couldn't know what's going on with the package. Like, is it gonna arrive? Is it gonna where is it? And the thing is that the warm weather doesn't wait for your AC to get there. Like, it doesn't, absolutely doesn't care. So I called to cancel that one, which was a hassle in itself, and then we ordered another one. And it should arrive eventually. It has a very reasonable delay, but it's not here yet. So I'm like, this is melty. The cats are melty as well. I overeat like crazy. No room for a bathtub in my bathroom, so I bought an inflatable. Where did you put it? It's just a nice warm sunny day here, not at all too hot. That sounds great, Toto. Max predicted is 21. That's like ideal. Read in bath. Yeah, that's a thing, but I'm not. I don't know. Amisha says, I'm staying in my bedroom where my window AC is. The humidity is down in the rest of the house though, so coming inside still instantly feels good. That's great. That's great. They have personal sized watermelons now. I'll have to, well, I haven't gone to the grocery store in a while since we get stuff delivered, but next time I go, I'll check if they have any that are looking good, you know. What? Dan, hold on. Dan says, I always hate it when it gets hot over here. There's no gentle build up. There's no gentle build. It goes from 20 to 28 in the space of 2-3 days. Dude, it goes from 18 to 28 in the space of 24 hours here. I would love to have 2-3 days to adjust. Honestly, we have days where like the warmest will be, I don't know, 25, and the next day forecast is for 35 Celsius. Like straight up. Verida says, I'm not a bath person either, but an hour-long shower wastes. Oh yeah, it does waste too much of the water. I agree. I bring my phone to the bathroom though. Oof, yeah, I've been meaning to get the portable AC for like 2 years. Yeah, they're a bit problematic to set up, but it's a unique situation this year since it would usually just be me in the apartment during the day, but now it's gonna be the two of us working on our computers, so that warms up the place quite quickly. Hey Lana! Hi Dante! Aww. I'm hoping the heat will shift some of the humidity. I wouldn't hope for that, and I'm sorry. It's just gonna be a sauna instead of just humid. Mikal says, I decided to stop arguing at work. Just let them learn the hard way instead. It's making me think shorter, and my boss is realizing I know what I'm talking about. So my stress is way down. That's really awesome. Really, really awesome. Yeah, at some point, you gotta draw a line where you want to stop investing yourself, because it's draining up too much of your own energy in there. Like, if you put too much of yourself into something and it's always a source of strain and stress, it's not worth it. 21 Celsius today, predicted 31 on Thursday. I do not approve. Hold on, let me... I have my phone. Okay, let's see. Ah ouais? Ouais, tu penses ça, toi?
C'est ma boulette. C'est ma boulette. C'est mon bébé.
I have Scout behind me. Just gonna check on my phone what's the weather forecast. I know I have a vague idea of how bad it's gonna be, but 7 days. There, first of all, there's a great big heat warning at the top of the of the AC. Oops. That's what I wanted to do, but heat warning, like right there. Anyway, so today is 34, tomorrow is 32, then Monday is 31, Tuesday 28, Wednesday 28, and Thursday finally 25, something a tiny bit less warm. But bleh. It's gone from 20 Celsius to 31 Celsius in 6 hours. Yeah, exactly. I think Amisha and I have similar weather patterns over our head. I was trying to think of an idea of something with the fact that it's so hot in mine, but I've drawn that quite a bit, so it's a bit difficult to find something that I'm not gonna go like, oh, but I've drawn exactly this once before. Maureen says, I fear summer is going to be harsh. We had a super mild winter. We had almost no snow, and we are in a snow belt and should have had several heavy duty snow. Oh no. Nancy says, Ev, you know your AC will arrive on a cool day, right? I do. I fully expect that. I absolutely, like, that's absolutely in character for everything. Like, it's not there when it's 30 degrees, but the day it goes down to like 25, 23, boom, delivery. Oh, lemonade stamp, that's cute. Even on camera, the place looks no. Hi Susan, hi 65 sunny day. Hey Phoebe, hi. Oh, hey, congrats on getting overtime approved, Nicole. Finally. I really don't understand the difficulty in getting overtime, or like, not necessarily the fact that it's not there, because yeah, I guess some companies cannot really afford it, but the fact that somehow, somewhere, the company cannot afford to pay overtime. Like, come on. But what? Why is it that pink lemonade seems to taste better than regular lemonade? I know it's just food coloring, but still, is it just food coloring? They don't really add, like, I don't know, something like strawberry taste, or, because you don't really have pink lemons, as far as I know. You have pink grapefruits. It's probably a psychological thing. It looks prettier, so it tastes better. I'm quite fond of limeade, like lemonade, but instead of lemon, it's lime, and it's not that easy to find. Faridus says, I just checked. I can have a portable AC delivered on Monday. I just need to convince myself to pay for it. Oh no. On Monday though. Wow. I mean, here everything gets here eventually, but like incredibly later than expected. Technically, if there hadn't been any issue, the first one we ordered should have been there within a week. And the second one should have been there like within a few days of ordering it. It's super windy here and raining. Oh man, I miss the wind. Sometimes pink lemonade is colored with cranberry, strawberry, or raspberry, or food coloring. I remember I tried pink lemonade the first time when I was 3 or 5, and I was disappointed to find it was just lemonade. Yeah, I agree. You kind of expect it to be a bit more. Nicole says, I make lemonade from scratch. When I make pink lemonade, I had 6 raspberry per glass. Do you have to like squash them a bit, or just through osmosis and being in the glass it's gonna color pink? Raspberry lemonade is lovely. Well, my apple tree in a pot with loads of stone just went down. Oh no! Poor tree! Yeah, I don't have any yard, so I don't have anything outside. So except for my bird feeder, I'm not exactly worried about anything when it's windy. Regular lemonade is 1 lemon and 1 cup of sugar. What do you guys think about this? Do you find that sugary drinks are easier to drink when they are cold rather than when they are warm? Or do you not see a difference? Or do you prefer everything with sugar, everything without sugar? You muddle the raspberry. Okay, yeah. That sounds really delicious, and then you can eat the raspberries. Limeade is like a virgin margarita, sort of, kind of. Is it like a virgin mojito? No, you would need mint in there, right? My big issue is that I live in a 30 square meter studio. One entire wall is just a big window. So it gets really warm, and I have no room, so I need an AC that can cool a large area. Oh. Yeah, that's expensive. A great drink is water with cut up strawberries and basil leaves. So Otto says, yeah, room temperature fizzy pop is the worst. We call that tablet here. Tablet refers to shelf. So yeah. Shelf temperature. Farida says, definitely cold. Phoebe says, probably cold. When it's cold, the sweetness isn't as intense. Dan says, yes, they taste much better unless it's tea or coffee. Lana says, I don't really like sweet drinks, but if I do, then cold. Two agreed. Hey, that's interesting. I'm glad you guys sort of, I kind of agree with everyone in the sense that sweetened drinks are kind of better cold. Like even coffee and tea. I've gotten to a point where I'm unable to have any sugar in them. It's just such a weird feeling afterwards. Flat carbonated drinks can be bad too. You don't realize how sweet it really is until it goes flat. I'm not good with carbonated stuff. And then it's overbearing and gross. Lito says, I like making lemonade by making a jar of honey with sliced lemon. That makes a syrup, and I put it in sparkling water. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's also sold as, I have a couple of jars of something similar in the fridge. It's a Korean kind of jam that you're supposed to put in water. They put it in warm water, but yeah, I guess you could definitely put it in cold and stir it up a bit. But it really tastes like yuzu and ginger. And I also have one that is plain yuzu. And I'm excited to get to it. Amisha says, I don't like super sweet drinks if it's hot out. I'm a cola-holic, but if I'm hot, I want cold water. Oh, you can't really beat cold water, right? Maureen says, I don't want sugar or milk in coffee or tea. I like creamer in my coffee or tea. No sugar though, the unsweetened kind. And Nicole says, I don't drink juice or soda, but sparkling water is only good unless it's ice cold. 65 Sunny Day says, sweet stuff is more bearable with lots of ice. I only use a teaspoon or two of sugar per lemon. Just to be clear, if you buy lemonade in the US, it's not carbonated. I'm pretty sure we have it here too. It's sold in like the cartons like milk. And it's pre-made lemonade, so it's like sweetened and all of that, and it's not carbonated. How disappointed US people will be in Germany. We have, over here we have carbonated, like sparkling water with flavor in it. Like Perrier, there's no like I was looking at the display the other day, and there's like so many options of flavors of Perrier now. Like lemonade, grapefruit, lemon, lime, peach. And I was really sad because I was like, oh my gosh, strawberry and peach, that sounds amazing. But I don't do carbonation. So I was like, no, there's not enough things that taste of strawberry and peaches that are good. It's always like raspberries and lemon. I'm like, no, give me peach and strawberries, please. I'm drinking a matcha latte, which is just matcha and unsweetened soy milk blended together. It's cold. It's definitely not warm. Phoebe says, I love Martinelli, sparkling apple juice and sparkling lemonade. It makes something usually simple very fancy. It does look really fancy. And I think a lot of people I know who can drink carbonation, they kind of like to mix juice with carbonated water, because juice can be really, really, really sweet. And when you want to like satiate thirst, something that sweet is not super helpful. Oh, Canadian ginger ale. I know, I should really start keeping up a list of the things I have to put in my luggage whenever can finally get to Scotland to see Otto, I'm gonna bring you some Canadian ginger ale. I love like the taste of ginger ale is super interesting, but it's they would have to sell it flat for me to be able to truly enjoy it. Oh yeah, that too. Amisha says I discovered all the flavored syrups when I was in France. Syrups plus sparkling water equals joy. Yeah, the most easy to find is what's it called in English? But it's grenadine in French. It's made from pomegranate, and it's basically like sweet red syrup. It's really really common. There was some in my grandparents' like liquor cabinet because my grandparents were French, and they would put it with I don't know what, but us as kids we would put the syrup with water and just enjoy the sweet water. But yeah, definitely any kind of flavored syrup with sparkling water really upgrades the drink. I don't get why we don't get it in the UK. They are everywhere in Japan. Do you mean the Canadian ginger ale is everywhere in Japan? That's kind of that's wow, that has traveled far. Hey, Askeluna, hi. Hey, Tsukaboo, hi. Hope y'all are well today. Canada Dry ginger ale and iced tea. Well, is there? I don't think there's another brand of ginger ale besides Canada Dry. Is there? Can any Canuck in the in the chat let me know? Yeah, Dan, that's how it's named in French. I'm not sure what it's named in English though. Here in Washington State, we get some Canadian imports. Like Kinder, funny thing, Kinder chocolates are from Swiss. Is it Switzerland? And well, Canadian ginger ale is definitely Canadian. Team Canada Dry ginger ale. Mix Canada Dry ginger ale with lemon flavored iced tea. Oh yes, you can get it anywhere. It was my grandmother's favorite drink. Oh really, Otto? Wow, that has traveled far to get there. Hey, Elise, hi. Oh my gosh. I don't like most fuzzy drinks. Just cold flat water for me. Yeah, team flat water. That's us. Oh, speaking of lemons, I got a thing. I'm gonna try to draw it, but it's something. It's made in Japan, so perhaps Otto will kind of recognize it. But it's shaped a bit like a bird, like this. The eye is sort of a rivet, and it holds kind of a thing that is curved in there, with a flat bit here, and it has a round foot, and it's to squish lemon quarters. You just put like a quarter or a piece of lemon in there, and then you press this down, and there's a kind of there's a dented area here that will keep all the seeds in there, and you just pour the lemon juice in there. And I was like, oh, that's clever. Would totally try that if I could get Canada ginger ale first place. Oh, what a bummer, Otto. It's the same in English. Just said English like grenadine. Yes, Verner's and Schweppes. Oh, there are other. Okay. Okay, I didn't know that, Nancy. Shows what I know about soda. I don't know why it's called Canada Dry. Absolutely no idea. Hey, Bugs the Paint, hi! It's called Spicy Ginger in Germany. Perfect. Thanks, Dan. My grandparents had a grenadine and cassis, which is probably something like, it's not exactly currants because currants are a type of grapes, and cassis is more like a berry, I think. It's basically like a French blueberry in some way. So we would often have water and pour some syrup in there because, you know, as a kid, sweet water is pretty awesome. Canada Dry and Schweppes, which are from the same company. Oh, nice. Nicole says, I really wanted a parfait for lunch, but I didn't have any granola left, so I crushed up an apple cinnamon rice cake. It's not too bad. Well, I think it would be quite light and tasty. Cinnamon. Sorry, I've still been in radio silent, but I have some Emerald updates. Oh, awesome! I was about to ask about Emerald. I hope things are okay. I hope the radio silent mode is not because of more bad stuff going on, hopefully. Why are there two competing lines of ale from the same company that taste hardly different? Well, they were probably separate companies originally, and then they both got bought by the same. Hey, Alex! Alex popping in with hard facts about ginger ale. What are we painting today? It's gonna be this lemonade stand. Someone suggested that someone suggested because it's a really cute idea. I'm loving it. And it's exactly on point with the weather. That is absolutely terrible. Ah! Hey, Mallory! Wow, no, long time no see. Maybe we'll be lucky and Patricia will come in today. I still have no news. Oh, the other one that's quite, what about root beer? Is root beer something that is available everywhere, or is it specific to certain areas? Canada Cry? Is that a typo or is that on purpose? Because Canada Cry sounds amazing. Sorry. Emerald and kiddos are all great. There is an embargo until September, so they may have to be driven to Seattle. Flown to Germany and then here. Ooh, so it's all panic mode, but super excited. I hope it goes well. Is she gonna come with the kiddos, or are the kiddos gonna go to separate homes? Oh, I'm glad, Sakaboo. Migraines really, really suck. Root beer is very popular in the US. What is root beer supposed to taste like? I like to buy Fanta from wholesalers who import from Greece. Fanta is really best in Greece because the orange content is 20%. Ooh. No, Fanta, I mean, I'm bummed that carbonation gets to me, but Japan has peach Fanta. And I'm like, why is it not everywhere? Why do we still have, like, orange and grape everywhere, and like not stuff like peach and mango and strawberries, like the other tasty stuff. This is gonna turn into Evrance every Saturday. Let me switch. Water. Done with the latte of sort. Both ginger ale is now owned by Dr. Pepper Snapple's group. Dr. Pepper is another weird one. My granddad used to make his own root beer for his 4 boys. Wow, cool. That's even weirder. Canada Dry is better though. Canada Cry. I don't know. It's very sweet with a distinct, almost wintergreen vanilla flavor. Oh yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Because I always was surprised, like root beer is brown, like cola. And I was always under the impression that it would taste like Pepsi or Coke. And whenever I had a tiny taste of root beer, I was always like, whoa, this is not the taste I expected from this. Yeah, there is a grape Fanta. Well, is it Japanese grape Fanta? Because if so, it's gotta be interesting. Because the grape stuff around here is so sad. Figo. Oh, that's hold on, that's oh, I hope this is not something awful to say, but isn't Figo what juggalos drink? Too. I mean, it's a thing, it exists, but I think that's where I saw that. I was reading up on the whole Insane Clown Posse thing, and I think they mentioned Figo in there. Pip does not have his PhD flavor. Team Dr. Pepet? I kinda like it. Dr. Pepet and Canada Cry. Oh, sorry. I don't know why. This is just silly. Well, I love that Figo has peach flavor. I mean, come on, bring it. Give us the fancy stuff, not just like orange and grapes and cherries. They don't even taste like what they're supposed to anyway, so why not bring in the extra fancy stuff? Where's my banana flavored thing? But yeah, I find it super interesting whenever you check out, like, it's easier to find nowadays even more because of the internet, but everything that's localized, like the local flavors of things depending on which country you're in. Like if you go to the Philippines, I think, they have a lot of like mango, pineapple, banana flavored stuff. And if you go to Japan, then there's a lot of peach, grape. I've never seen as many grape flavored things as when I look at Japanese candies. And it was a bit suspicious at first because I was like, oh my gosh, here grape is like, definitely either you like it or you hate it, but it's a different taste of grape on the candies. I'm a super fan of cherry flavored colas, it's my weakness. Oh no, too! Iron Brew. What is Iron Brew supposed to taste like? Pineapple. Iron Brew pulled pork. Oh, that sounds great. I've seen people do pulled pork with root beer, I think. We have a monstrous candy store that sells weird sodas like butter, turkey gravy and corn. No. 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 The orange drink in Greece tasted so much better. It was called portokali. Portokali? Huh. I like a lot of sodas, to be honest. cherry vanilla Coke made in a real soda fountain. Oh wow. Cream soda. Oh yeah, that's a weird. My only experience of cream soda is the Mr. Freeze flavored cream sodas. Or the cream soda flavored Mr. Freeze. You know what I mean. Maybe I can't express it well, but you guys know what I mean. Those were the white ones, I think, like the just no color ones. I have no idea what Iron Brew is supposed to taste like. It's kind of a singular flavor. Huh. Just a little different, and the color is bright orange. Oh dear. Zikawa says where I live I can get pineapple, mango, orange, Mountain Dew. What? Oh, is it like the what's it called? Is it something like Baya Blue, the one that you can only get in a specific restaurant? That's Mountain Dew, but that's bright blue, like aqua blue. We used to get pineapple Fanta every summer. Oh man, it sounds delicious. Melon cream soda. Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude, we need to bring all the melon flavored stuff over here too, please. I really like like what we call honeydew melon, and I don't know what if it's supposed to be exactly that, or if it's supposed to be something else, but oh man, there's hardly anything that is ever like melon flavored. Iron Brew with a deep fried Mars bar. Oh, oh man. Oh, Baya Blast. Okay. Thank you. Chocolate cake. Oh wow. Oh, this is not looking great. Oh, it's everywhere. Okay, I need to focus for a bit. Sometimes it's much easier to draw something really tiny on a sheet of paper, and then you try to sort of reproduce it larger, and it just doesn't work. And it's so annoying. It's like, ah. Hey, welcome back, Otto. I got cantaloupe flavored candies in my monthly. Oh, that's amazing. I think Otto doesn't like cantaloupe. Am I right? Oh man, I love it. I'll take them. I had Hokkaido melon Kit Kat once, and I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, a melon Kit Kat. You guys are dangerous. Now I'm craving the deep fried fruit with vanilla ice cream I used to get as a kid. I don't even like bananas. Aw. Well, I mean, a deep fried banana doesn't taste as much of the banana anymore, you know. It's a bit like a donut. melons! Yay! Oh my gosh, we should absolutely have a melon party. Oh, I grew up mostly in another town in Quebec, and Quebec doesn't really have that many like other culture stores, grocery stores, and all of that. But then I moved to Montreal, and Montreal has a lot of that. And before we moved, I remember we came over to scout for apartment, and we went to Montreal's Chinatown, and I saw that they had honeydew melon candies. And I tell you, my mind was so blown. This is such a fond memory of like I was like, oh, it was like this sort of, oh, with the beam of light moment, and I was like, finally someone gets it. And then I realized that there's a lot of candies from Japan that have melon in them, and I'm super psyched for it. I have trust issues with melon. They're either sweet and nice or really bitter. Well, you have to wait until they're ripe then. Oh hell yes, melon party. Yes! I absolutely support this idea. All fruit salads in the UK are 90% melons. It's unnatural. Well, it's like that everywhere, and it's always unripe, hard melons that taste like the syrup they were in. They don't really taste like ripe fruits. Watermelon is best melon, fight me. I like all the melons. All the melons. Dante loves watermelon. Aww. It's melon with a different colored melon usually. Oh man. Fruit salad is awesome, but yeah, the homemade kind, not the canned kind. But yeah, it's tricky to purchase a melon if you are in a country that doesn't necessarily has the best temperature for them. We grow some melons here in Quebec, so hopefully in the summer you can sometimes get them at a satisfying level of ripeness, where they're not too bitter or too hard. But it's also really easy to buy one that is not ready to be eaten. I once got a really good watermelon from the market too. It was really delicious, and it was yellow. So yeah, delicious yellow watermelon. It was a small one, but I still struggled to bring it back home because the market is kind of far. So I had to haul that, which a bunch of stuff. I hate honeydew. Well, I'll eat your honeydew, don't worry. The best melon ever is the muskmelon. That's the one that looks a bit like a cantaloupe outside, like with all the veiny stuff, but it's green like a honeydew, right? It's way more aromatic and flavorful. Oh man. I think Simon and Martina did they used to do this really funny feature where they would buy expensive fruits and then try them. And most of the time the expensive fruits were like incredible. So it was really funny to watch because they would be like really. Usually Martina would be like, "I can't believe you paid that much for this fruit," and then they would sort of get into it, and it's like it's worth its money. It's a delicious fruit, but really funny to watch. Oh, that's clever. Amisha says we used to make watermelon popsicle. Just cut the watermelon into strips, stick a popsicle stick and freeze. That's an awesome idea, and it doesn't drip as much as a regular popsicle. Orange meat watermelon. Ooh, sounds delicious. Okay, the muskmelon is the one that has veins on the outside and green on the inside. Oh man. I'm gonna be craving a good, tasty, ripe melon. Muskmelon ice cream? Are you kidding me? Why must it have cream in it? It's like whenever you go to the boba tea places. You know, the tea with the tapioca jelly in them, or the tapioca thingies in them. And they often have this honeydew flavor, and I know it's a fake flavor. I know it's absolutely 100% sugar and fake flavor, but they put dried milk in the mix, and I'm always like crying because like this is like the best flavor, but they put the one thing that I cannot just be like, meh. Maybe you should draw a melon instead. Maybe I should. Well, I could add a melon on the table. I mean, they could be selling like lemonade and slices of watermelon. Why not? And then I could put this on the banner, like. There you go. Sunny Day says muskmelon from Indiana, bought in Michigan in July and August, is the best I've ever tasted. Food for the gods. Melon soda. Oh man. Indiana muskmelon cantaloupes are so good. They have really good dirt in Indiana. I get like that with the peaches we get from Ontario, when it's the proper, like there's a 2-3 weeks window where the peaches are amazing, and they're like the best peaches, but outside of that, it's very small, limited window. They are usually less than impressive, and anything that comes from further away than Ontario is usually really gross. Things like bananas and avocados, they will ripen nicely, like after traveling when you bring them home, but I've never had that kind of luck with peaches and nectarines. They never ripen properly. Who's going to be craving fruit salad when we're done? I know I am. Or I will. Ice cream truck is going by. Oh my gosh! Yummy! What do they sell in the ice cream truck nowadays? Nowadays! I don't think I've ever gotten anything from an ice cream truck. We would go more like to ice cream stores. But places. I don't know what it's called. Hey, Malvina, hi. Peaches and nectarines need the sun. They really do. But I mean, other fruits like mangoes and avocados and bananas, they will ripen fine. Like I usually buy my avocado really, really unripe, so they can travel better and they don't get all squished traveling. And then when I get here, and I just wait until they ripen, and they do. Cool story, bro. I always got a cookie ice cream sandwich from the ice cream truck. Oh, interesting. I wanted Rocket Pop, but I missed her. Oh no! Michigan beaches. Well, Michigan beaches, if you are close, if they don't have to travel that much, yeah, I'm pretty sure they must be. Strawberries won't ripen too well too when picked too early. Oh, strawberries are a nightmare, honestly. I'm still surprised that they can sort of make that a crop that is available to purchase, because like for everyone, because they always look awful on the shelves. They don't travel well. They don't live for long. Like if you buy strawberries and they're all pristine and pretty, that's gonna last you about what, maybe a day if you're lucky, half a day. I don't know what it is with strawberries, but you look at them and they get all squishy and gross. How the parasol works? What am I doing? What is that? Okay. Where's my phone? It's too hot. Oh man. But yeah, if you grow strawberries and you can pick them up and eat them, those are amazing. Most fruit, but especially peaches, are best about 30 seconds before they start to rot. I know. It's insane. Like whenever I have peaches, I have to leave them on the counter because sometimes they're not exactly ripe. And yeah, peaches are at their best when the skin start to wrinkle just a tiny bit. That's like the most juicy. Whenever you can peel off the skin of a peach with your finger, like you cut it in quarters and you can peel off the skin, that's the best peaches ever. Peach nerdery incoming. Otto says, okay, favorite jam flavor. Raspberry jam, boysenberry. Oh, that's fancy. Oh, you missed the exasperated old man voice, Maureen. I'm glad I'm getting known for that. Sorry. We made homemade peach preserves when oh man. So Otto says mine is a bitter orange marmalade than raspberry. 65 sunny days says elderberry. Nancy says raspberry. Maureen says black cherry. Dan says blackberry. Nice. Susan says gooseberry strawberry mix. Michelle says spiced pear preserves. Oh man. Lana says no jam for me, way too sweet. Okay, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, parasol. Ferda says cherry. Tsukabu says strawberry, blackberry. Or around here we get a mixed berry too. I'm an old soul. Aw. Certain time of the year we get huckleberry. There's so many berries. What? Nancy says blueberry too. Fairy dust says or raspberry or blueberry. Depends on application. Never strawberry. What? What? 65 Sunny Day says I can't find bitter orange marmalade anywhere. That sounds like a very British thing. If tired old man voice makes my day. I'm glad. Sorry. Orange marmalade is awesome. Oh, definitely, Lise. Lise says I'm no fan of elderflower, which is unfortunate because it's huge around here. I love elderberry soup and elderberry juice though. It seems to be a berry that grows a lot in the in your corner of the world. Orange marmalade homemade out of a big can. Mikey says I really like apricot jam. Maureen says we have one called traffic jam. It's everything. Wow, my mind blown. I'm loving this. This is so clever. It's like the palette mud paint that Eliza made from every pigment he's worked. Traffic jam. Oh man, I'm kind of sad I can't have that. That sounds amazing. Sorry, I'm messing up stuff under my chair. Welcome back, Nicole. Spiced pear preserves are kind of like chunky cinnamon applesauce, but with more than just cinnamon. Huh. I've never had much jam. Grew up on Welch's grape jelly. Oh, that was something that completely blew my mind away when I went to the US for the first time, I guess. I was a really tiny kid. When I came back from there, I was like obsessed with grape jelly. My parents had to figure it out and find some. I think my favorite jam is strawberry. But I also really like peach. It's just that it's very difficult to find good peach jam because more often than not it's apricot. And yeah, I haven't seen a lot of peach jam. But the food service we've been using, they partner with farms in Ontario and they have peach jam and it's absolutely delicious. Mallory says, I like blueberry jam and grape jelly the best. I don't like fresh blueberries. Fresh blueberries because of the skin. Blueberries are kind of weird. Like if you have them fresh, there's this weird combination of something with a relatively thick skin and weird interior texture. But if you get them frozen, they get sort of really grainy. So I'm not sure what's that about. Hey Lindsay, hi. I like jams over jellies. I don't tear the bread trying to spread it. Not exactly picky. I think the one I struggle the most with is marmalade. But I found that marmalade with a bit of like either butter or fake butter is a bit more balanced somehow. And yuzu marmalade is delicious. Mint jelly with roast dinners. Really? Now that sounds really, really British. Why? Mint with... I swear the only time my husband sneezes me is during the stream. Oh no, Nicole. But yeah, it's always like that. I agree. Like whenever you're like noodling around, no one bothers you. But the second you try to do something peculiar, like, okay, I really want to read this article or whatnot, that's when everyone tries to interrupt you or ask you for something, or you know. I'm really hating this stupid thing. I guess I could just skip it, but the redhead part of me is like, no, you cannot be holding a lemonade table without without any kind of shade. I'm sorry, oh no, Otto, that's okay. Are they struggling because of the camera or the stream itself, or is it just is this something else? I hope you can feel better soon. The best blueberries are the small ones. The big blueberries, they're kind of weird. I'm gonna cheat and just alpine strawberries are the best thing, but they don't freeze well and don't make a jam. Huh. Best to just sit in a patch and eat your fill. That's something I can. That's a project I can get behind. Just sit in a strawberry patch and eat all of them. Just had dinner and cannot think about it. Welcome back, Annette. Oh no! Oh no, Susan, that sounds awful. Susan says, I remember a vacation in Germany. We found loads of bushes full of raspberries. We ate so much, we all were very sick later that night. Aww. A wild persimmon tree. Oh, wow. Figs smell so amazing, but just can't get myself to eat one. I always feel like figs, someone took a fruit and rolled it in the sand before giving it to me. Oh, that's adorable. Lise says, my bunners get a lot of wild strawberries, both plant and berries, because my parents have them all over the garden. It's a beautiful little plant and the birds love it too. It's really, really cute, honestly. It's like very low and cute foliage and the white flowers, and then you have the red berries. That's adorable. The land used to be a farm, so I think that's where the persimmon tree and the fig tree came from. Oh, interesting. In regard of figs, the fig leaves, they're kind of the big leaves. A friend of ours, they have a couple of small fig plants, and they keep the leaves, and they dry them out, and it smells like vanilla a bit, and it makes a really delicious herbal tea. Can't be a proper Caesar salad without croutons that you can stab 24 times. Well, you have to stab them because they keep rolling around, right? Strawberry plants are insane. My mom planted like one in one of her balcony boxes, and they ended up almost taking over the whole thing. Aw, that means more strawberries. I'm so sorry, Susan. Oh no. Double memories. One of the absolute delicious raspberries, and then an awful one of running to the toilet building. We were camping. I know what you mean. At least it was a toilet building. I've camped in places where it was the hole in the ground type of toilets, like the dry toilets. Dude, that's not a pleasant one to go through. We had pear trees, the blueberries, the fig tree, the persimmon, and then an elderberry bush. Oh, wow. We never did that, but the fig tree always smelled good. It's really interesting. I'm trying to grow a donut peach tree. I read that as I'm trying to grow a donut tree, and I was like, yeah, I want one. No, donut peaches sound great too. I like peaches are great. My mom had a garden too when I was a kid, and that was really, really fun. I would go, I wasn't very old, I was like, what, four or five, but I would go by myself, pick up carrots, and rinse them at the outdoor water thingy, and eat them. Just like, yep. I didn't always get to the building though. Luckily there were loads of bush. Oh my gosh. I wonder if there are loads of... Quite possible. It's the story that keeps on perpetuating itself. Oh no, I'm so sorry. That's oh. I mean, it's kind of funny afterwards, I guess, but pretty sure that on the moment you're kind of possibly not finding that funny. We had a sassafras tree. What is sassafras though? Fig trees are really curious. They're pretty though. I love that it's like the huge leaves and the weird fruit that grow on the like branches. My uncle had made a kind of roof over his patio, but it was just a large wooden tree. Perfect for his grapevines. You could just reach up with your arm and grab a bunch of grapes. I love that. The only thing that really irks me about grapes is that they often have either spiders in the vines or wasps, and I'm not gonna I'm not messing up with those. I think carrot is one of those things that I prefer to eat raw than cooked. Raw carrots are delicious, right? I'm like that with bell pepper, regardless of the color. I think I prefer bell pepper when it's raw rather than cooked. There really is nothing like perfectly ripe fruit straight from the plant. I know. And it doesn't even have to be a fancy fruit. It can be an apple. Like a freshly picked apple is amazing. Susan says maybe they have changed the name of the camping site. Double Raspberries Memory Lane camping ground. That would be so funny. Can you imagine? Sorry. Amisha says I lived on a farm for 8 years and we had apples, pears, cherries, persimmons, chestnuts. Oh, really? English walnuts, white walnuts, aka butternuts. Never heard of those. Pecans, hazelnuts, red and black raspberries. Aren't black raspberries blackberries? That sounds like so much fun. Like you depending on the time of the year, you get all this stuff fresh from your own like yard. It's amazing. Susan says yes, I love raw bell peppers too. Awesome! Yay, someone else. When I was a toddler, I ate so many carrots, my skin literally started turning. I'm a bit like that. I'm even a bit like that still today. But I'm a bit bummed. When I lived in previous town I lived in, I was very, very close to sort of the local farmers market, and like very, very close. I mean, like you walk 5 minutes and you're there. So in the summer we would get so many delicious things from there. And now I moved, of course, though, but there's not really a market that I can go to. And I really miss it. I miss it in great part for the fresh corn that you steam and then you eat. Oh man, Quebec grows delicious corn. yeah, to just be able to go there and get fresh everything, zucchini, cucumbers, carrots, bell peppers, the corn, like everything. You get it from the farmers. I really miss it. We have yellow and red. Yeah, I've seen yellow raspberries, but I didn't know that you can you have just black raspberries and blackberries. Are these separate things? That's a great salad. So it says rasped carrots with rasped apple and a bit of sugar and lemon juice. I guess that depends on your type of apple. If you have more of a sweet apple in there, you might not even need the sugar. But yeah, lemon juice, oh my gosh, that's a great salad. Oh no, I've accident. Cucumbers are the worst, and everybody seems to like them. I'm like that with tomatoes. I can't do tomatoes, but they're everywhere. I'll take your cucumbers, and you can have all the tomatoes and my stuff. How about that? Mikey says, I can't have cucumbers either because of my kidneys, and unless they're peeled. But then, what is it exactly? I agree. Like, what's a peeled cucumbers except a vessel for water? It's like a melon that doesn't quite taste like anything. Man, I kind of wish I could make that salad now. I don't have any. I have carrots, but they're the type of carrots that you should really cook by now because they're kind of a bit soft. Amisha says, I love that farm, but Sting. Oh, no. No, definitely not worth it. I'm glad you got out of that crappy relationship. And you can always possibly plant some of these, like, I don't know what's your estate like now, if that's the word, but if you have a bit of space to grow either something really basic like herbs, like that's really small, doesn't take a lot of room, but otherwise you can possibly grow berry bushes or something just to get that feeling again.
Si tu fais boulette. Si tu fais boulette.
Tomatoes, I love tomatoes. I will gladly take your tomatoes. Oh, you're gonna have all of them. Yep. There you go. See? We can make everyone happy around here by splitting up the likes and dislikes of everyone. Cucumber with sweet hot sauce. Oh, yes. Or cucumbers with, I know you guys in the US have Trader's Joe. I don't know if they're supposed to be a good company or a crappy company. If they're a crappy company, just never mind what I'm gonna say, but they sell this mix of spices that's chili and lime. And it's not very spicy, and it's quite limey, and it's delicious on cucumber. few things here. Amisha says some raspberry trying to spread along the fence. That's great. Mulberries, some chives, and sage that are perennials now. I miss getting my lettuce out. Oh, yeah, well, this year was a mess. Part of me is still mind blown that we can get anything at all because of the delays in sowing things at the right time and all of that, you know. Ooh, it's thundering. Ah, oh, man, lucky. Susan says, my lettuce is growing so fast I eat it every other day and give some away to friends, and still it grows on and on and on. But it's good. Last year they wilted. Oh, that's not great. And if you have bunnies, they would love you for growing salad. Houston, the land of chaotic weather. Apparently. We're supposed to have thunderstorms for about 8 days straight. I didn't know that was a thing. Wow. I think you're right, Tsukabu. Tsukabu says, this year happened, but it didn't at the same time. I think even a Time Lord would avoid 2020. Definitely. There's a big, like, X on it in the list of years, and they're like, nope. Avoid. What a crazy... Oh, hey, speaking of crazy things, my brother had his kid. Well, him and his girlfriend. I'm officially an auntie now. So yeah, the kid is a little girl, and as far as I know from the latest news that I had, she was healthy and doing well. And yeah, I still need to possibly write my brother for more news, but the news I got were good. So that's where we're at right now. When I was in Alabama, I would put a bit of lemon juice and slices of cucumber in my water, so the water would still taste nice after warming up. It's a matter of taste. Hot lemon is definitely not for me though, and I really enjoy these double wall thingies for keeping water cool. Wilt or bolt, it's always a crapshoot with lettuce in the Midwest. Ah. Oh no. I'm sorry, that accident. That sounds awful. The lambs love the lettuce, but one tried to get through the fence, so I stopped giving it. You have lambs? Really? No, I cannot meet her yet. And I mean, even if I could, I'm not sure I would right now, because I mean, unless the parents are like, no, it's fine, you have to come. But they're new parents. They're probably tired and overwhelmed. And I don't know. That's why I don't have any news. So I don't know how the kid is, if she's like an easy baby or a difficult baby so far. But still, I mean, it's an ordeal, and they don't necessarily live super close to me, and I don't drive, and COVID and all of that, so in the meantime I send my dad on on my behalf. I'm so sorry, love accident. What the heck? it's not hard to understand that someone's allergic to cucumber and cannot have their stupid cucumber water. Like, good grief, grab a glass, open the fucking tap water, sorry for my French, but just get some tap water, put some ice cubes in there, and water, how hard is that? I'm odd, I like lemon and sage together, that sounds great. Bolting is when the lettuce shoots up tall and blooms. So like it doesn't really produce any leaves, it just reaches end stage quickly. Must have been a crazy time to have a child. I hope everything goes well. I agree, and you guys probably like already know that, but in this span of not even a month, a bit more than a month, sorry, but we lost our mom, and then he got his kid, like in something like 35 days apart. So yeah, my brother is having kind of a really hardcore roller coaster year. We're not like super duper close, but I hope he's doing okay. I will bother him a bit. My neighbors have outside chickens next to our garden, and now there are lambs in that patch. What? Wow. Good grief, lab accident. Oh my gosh. The people who tried to tell me I could only have cucumber water got in trouble. Hopefully. I hope they got a kick in the butt. That's so dumb. What? I'm glad your mother was there to help, because yeah, I mean, when you don't necessarily, if you're having sort of the beginning of a heat stroke, you probably were not in any mindset to argue for yourself. And to have someone who is like not affected by it be like, "Yar, stop being dumb, do the thing we ask you to do." That's always a blessing. That's rural Ireland for you. That sounds great. Amisha says we need to send Elvis seatbelt for that emotional roller coaster she's on. Oh my god, that's weird. It's and that's just like the very like personal stuff that's been going on. I mean, the world is still sort of another mess. So your options are either you don't look at the news, but you still have the personal stuff that filters through, because I mean, I still talk to my family, you know. Or you have that and the news that are absolutely unbelievable right now. One for her and the whole family, to be honest. Yeah, definitely. Maureen says my neighbors have two macaws outside every day. I live in Cleveland, by the way. One day I went out to take trash and one turned when I opened the door and yelled, "What?" at me. 5-point racing harness with quick release. Oh my gosh, yes. I know a gal who works at our local Asian food market, and she's literally allergic to plain tap water. How can you be allergic to that? What triggers the reaction in there? Oh, it's the chemicals that's in tap water. Okay. I'm allergic to chlorine, which is in most tap water. Oh yeah, that sounds awful. And I mean, if it's not if it's not obviously like a glass of tap water, we use water for so many things, from cooking. I mean, how many things are cooked in water? How many things are like watered with tap water too? Yikes. What kind of water do you have to get then? In Ireland, there's a lot of chlorine in the tap water. I don't drink it, and if used, it's been through a filter and cooked. Chlorine is not ideal. Chlorinated pools, ugh. It doesn't smell that great either. Do not chlorinated pools exist? Well, if you go swim in a lake, I guess. I buy bottles of water and I feel so guilty about that, especially because where I lived in the Netherlands, the tap water was so clean of chemicals. Well, I mean, you have to. Like, what is possibly awful is people who buy a lot of bottled water for technically no reason, if you know what I mean. If you are allergic to a component of tap water, then you have a really good reason not to buy it, you know. Or to get bottled water, if that makes sense. I think chlorine in tap water has been against the law around here since like the 80s. Oh yeah, really? It's the same logic as vaccines. I feel like people who can be vaccinated should get it. Like people who don't need who don't need bottled water should probably find another option. But people who have no other choice, I mean, it's there for these people. And the other way around for vaccines, like if you can't get vaccinated, I mean, you cannot feel bad about that. Am I rambling? Probably. Am I rambling? Most grocery stores here have water stations so containers can be reused. That's great. Is it for the super big cylindrical containers, like the really, really big jars for water fountains, or is it any kind of container? big old thunder. Oh man. Here it's big old freaking fire outside. So, other topic, what is everyone reading if you are a book recommendation? I'm not exactly reading anything at the moment, but I've been taking a bunch of classes about various stuff. From trying to learn a new editing software to taking sort of refresher classes in illustration, if I can say that. Oh, that's pretty cool, Misha. Really nice. I'm reading the brand new Hunger Game books. It's... How is it? Spoiler, no spoiler, but how is it? Cheesy romance novels are pretty fun. They are definitely like something you can read just to, free your mind and calm down after a stressful moment and. I'm reading Food of the Gods by Cassandra Khaw. Not as good as the original book yet. I just finished our own Gent Blues Fluency and liked it quite well. I'll be continuing. Yeah, that looks really nice. We have a bunch of we have a few writers in the community, which is pretty awesome.
My to-read list is super long, so I'm completely ignoring it and just reading fan fiction. Yep, that sounds like something I would do too. Instant math. Aw. Oh dear. And it says, I was reading Silo by Hugh Howey. It's about people living in large silos in the ground. But it was too depressing after the lockdown. I agree, that's not the best timing for that kind of situation.
I'll go get some painting water. I'll be right back.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, Nancy. Have a great weekend. Bye, Nancy. Oh my gosh. Maureen says, I was reading dry about an extreme drought, and one community used an old well and all got dysentery. Next day my tap water came out all foamy, about giving a panic attack. Yikes. I'm just waiting for this to dry enough so that I can paint it. Dooper 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 burp burp burp. I'm realizing now that I really don't read all that much. I used to read a lot more, but not anymore. Should I use this schminke set with 26 color in it, or the Daniel Smith palette of 24 colors? Which one should I use? Do you think? Sorry, that's me making noise. So 1 vote for Daniel Smith. Back from lunch. I hope it was good. What did you get, Phoebe? Oh, 2 votes for Schminke. Oh. Oh, 2 against 1. Hey Lynn, hi. Welcome. So, Schminke or Daniel Smith? Can't tell which side of the pond we're on. That's a good point. Right, I'm gonna wait a tiny bit more until I decide which one I'm taking. Oh, sorry. Apart from the Prima text, I personally prefer Schminke colors. Well, they're more easily accessible to you too, so that's kind of a really great side to it, and Schminke kind of re-wets a bit easier overall than some of the Daniel Smith color. No, this is Daniel Smith and this is Schminke. For lunch, I had a pre-made sandwich that I pulled the turkey out of and replaced with salami. Oh, yummy. Oh, by the way, guys, do you remember when I mentioned the sidewalk salami thing? To quickly recap it, when we were taking a walk quite some time ago, Mr. E and I, we saw a stack of salami on the sidewalk. And we were like making jokes about it because how often do you see a stack of salami slices on the sidewalk? And that cracked us up, and eventually like days passed and it got eaten. We have raccoons and we have a bunch of critters at night here, so definitely the thing got eaten. But we were taking another walk on the same street later, like a couple of days later, and we saw another stack of salami in the street this time. And we were like, oh my gosh, it's the return of the sidewalk salami. And that cracked me up. Oh no. No, Annette, that's definitely a point to... well, I should possibly show the pants too, rather than... Yeah, any kind of thing happening to a cat in the book is really going to be a factor. Of course I remember the sidewalk deli meat. Oh, a lot of votes for Schminke. Yep, so I guess, you go home. Let's do this. The sidewalk meat. I also disapprove of alters killing off bits. Yeah, definitely to draw Mr. E and I finding the sidewalk salami, right? Just bought new Schminke paint. Apparently they have new highly... Yes! Were you able to find those? They look amazing! Like, we shared someone on the Discord, someone from Germany. I think maybe it was Lana. not sure, but someone shared the German page for the new super granulating colors, and we were all like ooh and ahhing so fast, and oh my gosh, we were like so excited to see more of them, but they're nowhere. Oh no, this is smudging. Should I wait? Oh no, is that smudging or is it just? Oh, it's just leftover pencil. Sorry about that. Ooh, granulation is one of Daniel Smith's strong points. Shut fly. I think Schminke. Well, maybe they're coming from Daniel Smith, but it's not exactly out of character for Schminke to always have something new brewing up. You know, they keep releasing new sets, they keep releasing new colors, they always have something, you know, planned for the future. So the fact that they're releasing the very granulating colors, to me, it just feels like they wanted to try something new and they decided to give that a try, and now that's coming out. And like they look really passionate about paint, so to me it feels like someone at Schminke went, oh, what about super granulating colors? Wouldn't that be cool? And yeah, it would be so cool. And they're all super hyped over there, a bit like us. Hey Paulo, hi. Maybe I could send you a sample. Well, that's all up to you, of course. But yeah, let us know how they are when you get to try them. I think we would all really appreciate getting your impression on them, because we were all so excited about them. The colors look lovely too. They're super nice, and if anything, they remind me more of the colors like Daniel Smith in part, but there's a few colors by Paul Rubens also that have these very shifty granulating features, and another Chinese brand also has made them, and yeah, and Van Gogh also has really interesting dusk colors. Salami is such a gross word. I can't believe I used to eat salami. What? What's wrong with salami? I think the super granulating colors are mostly mixes of a granulating and a staining one, like Cascade Green and Daniel Smith. The mixes are very nice though. Yeah. And it would be really exciting to have Schminke's take on that, because their paints are so reliable. Okay, so first people are showing love for salami in the chat, which cracks me up a lot. Salami is delicious. Sausages in general are delicious. The salami we get, I think, is an Italian brand with lots of pepper. Quite good, actually. Salami is awesome. And it says, I talked to the Schminke customer service and they're really excited about their colors. That's the kind of thing that makes me so happy to hear about. It's like, aw, yay, you know, like it's kind of a fuzzy feeling inside to know that the people who work on this tool that I love using, they're having a blast working on it too. Like it sort of communicates. Or maybe I'm just seeing way too much into this, but still. I just had a salami pizza, hot salad. Oh, that sounds great. Sounds great. I'm meaning to rethink the salami thing I used to like Genoa salami. There are so many different salamis though. Salami sucks when the person next to you at the gym ate a lot of it. Oof. A lot of things suck put in that context, honestly. Like I used to go a long time ago, I would go to the gym really early in the morning. And quite often the people who would go at the same time, they would not take a shower before going, because they would be like, well, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to be sweaty. I'm not going to take a shower before, I'm going to take a shower after. And I'm like, that's sound logic. But that also means that you stink up the place while doing 30 minutes on the elliptical machine. And that if you decide to exercise next to me, I'm gonna be gagging. So yeah, mixed mixed feelings about that one. No, I'm not a huge fan of bologna. Well, bologna is not really a salami. Bologna is basically a very large hot dog sausage. Schminke is slowly overthinking Synergy as my favorite watercolor. It kind of grows on people, Schminke, I find. North America mislabeled a whole lot of dried cured sausage salami. They did. They really did. Subway, Doritos, corn nuts, and pork rinds should only be enjoyed with other people eating them, or you should be alone and far, far away. Or anything with garlic in it. Definitely. I have an old painting from the 70s from Schminke. Oh wow! But no pigment information. So like 3 awesome women at Schminke tried to find out what kind of pigments were used. That is so cool! Hey, welcome back, Nicole. Nicole says there's about 50-75 people walking down my street protesting. I went outside to watch. Huh. I'm glad. Oh yeah, the color is quite accurate on camera too. So not too bad. I seriously, I've heard about a couple of interaction with Schminke that were perhaps a tiny bit lackluster, but anything that was not very surface level, like everybody who inquired to them for certain pigment information or other things like that, they always were very helpful, I find. As far as I know, of course, but yeah. Daniel Smith is really hit or miss. The friendliest I've seen was M. Graham. They are really, really nice. But they're also very North America, so if you live outside of North America, it might be a bit more difficult to either find the paints at a good price or... Oh, thank you for being here, Lindsay. Have a great weekend. I thought garlic and onions were mandatory when cooking if you want something tasty. They really help. and I'm kind of bummed about not being able to cook with them. But you know, there are other things that are quite good. I just it's not an allergic thing. It's just that I don't like the lasting feelings of garlic and onions. But I mean, if I buy something that has garlic in it, I'm not gonna really mind all that much. I'm gonna eat it anyway and stink up the place. Oh, thank you so much, Nicole. Oh, I want some engrams, but I'll wait till we go on vacation to the USA. Might take a couple of years, but they're just too, yeah, definitely. And it's a nice something. It's a nice thing to bring back from a travel to the States. Like paints that you can sort of, in a way, only get there. Aw, garlic is great, but it's just difficult to digest properly. Did Jackson receive new stock of the tins at Apollo? I forgot to check today, but they were supposed to restock yesterday. My newest obsession food-wise is smoked paprika. Yes! Isn't it like... I keep forgetting to use it and stuff, but every time I remember, I'm always like blown away by how delicious and packed of flavor it is. It is so good. I've made a few things with it, but I think like in pasta sauce and tomato sauce, it was really good. On potatoes, it's pretty awesome too. Ubiquitous in Spanish cooking. Yeah, definitely. I love all spices. My special is. I bet it is. I mean, spices are amazing. The only reason why I don't have a very large spice rack is, first of all, place. Like I don't have any room for it, and then we don't go through them all that fast. There's possibly a couple of herbs or flavor or mixes that I use more than the rest, but the rest of it is not used that often, so I cannot really bring in too much. Everyone usually gives me spices. Oh, I should absolutely send you some maple sugar then. It's not exactly a spice, you know, but it can be part of a rub or a mix or something. birthday and Xmas. Oh, that's great. I love it because it's something that makes you happy and that you will have a bit of that joy every time you use it. I think that's quite awesome. Just last week I found out about this oat creamish substitute for 18% cow milk, and that with garlic, salt, and smoked paprika is so good. Oh, great! That sounds amazing. Maple sugar makes the most amazing cup of coffee. Maple sugar is a little taste of Canada. Yeah, it's the easiest to send out taste of Canada. Sorry, hiccups. Because it's not as heavy as a can of syrup, but it's basically okay. So hold on, I'm just gonna check out the schminke thing, and I'm gonna ramble on maple syrup and sugar. Ow. Oh, wait, hold on. It's back in stock. Wait, does it? Let's see. Ow. Why is my knee still busted? I'm not doing anything. Okay, so technically, maple syrup is when you take the sap from the maple trees, the sugar maple trees. It's quite liquid, it's quite thin, but it boils down. You boil it down to a syrup. But the thing is, if you keep boiling it, you're basically boiling sugar in water, so you can bring it to various levels of hardness, like making candy. And one of the level you can bring it to is gonna be like a block of sugar, and then you can sort of grind that up to make like a powdered sugar. And that's basically what we call maple sugar. What is wrong with you? Hello? Yeah, it has gone up in price, Paolo, because their schminke sale ended, I think. So they made it more expensive now. Won't be long. Sorry, guys. Why is my knee so busted? I do nothing but walk with, like, I'm not very extreme with my body. love Jackson's, but you really need to work on their website. It gets so buggy at times. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Catching up on chat. Oh yeah, Jackson's website is weird at best. It won't log in, or it will log in but it won't check out, or it won't give you whatever. It's basically the gist of it. Big lone straw raspberry? Raspberry. What am I to say about this is strawberry? So yeah, I'm kind of bummed that they never had a restock during the duration of their super set sale or whatnot. Or if it's not because of that, like that it did have more stock when it was £35, and now it's climbed to £45, and yeah, that's kind of a big increase. It's still worth it, but it's a bummer that the real great discount didn't really last long in a way, because they sold out super fast the first time around, and restock took forever. It was supposed to be like June 4th, and then it got to June 19th, and then possibly have it even if it says awaiting stock on the page. I don't know what's up with that. Good point. Lee says, hey, anyone impulse shopping on Jackson's right now, I hope you remember to use Ev's affiliate link. I do have an affiliate link, and it really doesn't make a difference for you when you purchase, so yeah, by all means, if you are purchasing stuff on Jackson's, I have an affiliate link. I'm gonna hop out of stream for a bit to get ready for work. Oh, okay, sure, lab accident. I hope that goes well. Or even weirder, I'll click on something and suddenly everything is written in Cyrillic. Yeah, that's odd. I haven't had that before. But I've had like all sorts of issue of not being able to roll through the whole checkout process. It's kind of messed up. Still, they offer a really great service and really unique items, but sometimes it's just a bit of a headache. Just a tiny bit of a headache. I'll do my best. I've got a weather migraine, which is making my vision. Oh, good grief. I really hope that doesn't bother you for too long, because that sounds awful. I'll kill it with caffeine and painkillers. Sounds about right. Oh, that's great, Paulo. No, it's fun. I mean, it's such a good time in the relative world situation to have a thing like Animal Crossing to be able to take a break. So oops, forgot to go back to this so that I can have a preview of what you guys are seeing. What is good posture? You tell me. I don't know. I sure don't have one. I'm really focused on getting all the rooms in my house in Animal Crossing, and I just did. $15 million? Oh my gosh. That's a lot of bells. You got the blue of that color exactly right. I don't think I know anyone who didn't have one of those at some point. Like the Coleman or Rubbermaid cooler with the blue body and white lid and handle. That's like the most common cooler. I always do this. Why have I not learned not to paint next to something that is freshly painted? What is wrong with me? It's cooler blue. Ah, the cooler. Oh. If I ever make a handmade paint in that shade, I'm gonna call it cooler. Cooler blue. Does anyone in chat have YouTube Red? It's a coloring page. What? My grandma used to call it the icebox. But yeah, I'm mentioning YouTube Red just because of the a movie we watched yesterday, which was not on YouTube Red because I don't pay for that, but it seems to have been made in collaboration with YouTube Red, and it's a documentary about the cats of Turkey in Istanbul and all that area, and it's basically 80 minutes of cats, and it was great. I visited a 17-year-old Turkey today. Oh, was she like frowny and temperamental? Is YouTube Red like YouTube Premium? Yeah, they changed the name. Okay, I didn't know that. So Lee says, no, she's the sweetest thing ever, the most cuddly and drooly kitty ever. No turkey temper with her. I didn't know that existed. Shocked. I have Scout with me, but since my regular camera is sort of busted, I cannot have the cat cam on her because I am using the cat cam to film this, since it's the other camera that's being a bother. Might not be why, but there are some complaints that sound too similar to Fancy site. Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know if the cat documentary is on YouTube Red, but it's titled Kiddy, Kadi, which I think it's a cat and Turkish. Is that the word I'm looking for? It was really interesting to see the kind of relationship the Turkish people have with the cats that roam freely in the city, and it was really they don't have any really sad moment in the film. So it's not about the sad part of things. It's just about the cats and how they coexist with humans, and how the humans take care of them and all of that. Made me realize that I really don't know all that much about Turkey, which is maybe something I should keep in mind and sort of remedy at some point. saw clips from it. It looks sweet. Yeah, it is quite fun. Seriously, I was really worried that there might be some sad parts in it because I don't do those very well. But no, there's one a tiny bit sad maybe moment, but they don't linger on it at all. So I don't know. But oh my gosh, so many cats. I think I spent the whole movie going like, oh, that cat is so pretty, and another super pretty cat, so cute, and that was basically me during the whole movie. I think YouTube, I don't think there should be any kind of shameful part to spending a lot of time on YouTube, because it's not any worse than looking at TV, except that at least with YouTube you get to sort of really choose the content you want to see. I've known her always, she's just a sweetheart. If anything, her name is Biss, which translates to rascal. And I've never met a more timid, mild, and kissy cat than her. Aww. Do you know her from where? Lisa, I'm curious. Skibbo says, I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube and Nintendo. Like, I love watching videos, but before I know it's 3 a.m. And I love Nintendo, but hate their prices. Yeah, I've never seen any game from Nintendo made by Nintendo on sale. They are $80, the end. maybe it's less than USD, but in Canadian dollars it's $80, that's it. I've seen the consoles go on sale occasionally, like for like a very minimal discount. Yeah, they don't, and they always like, they don't really care about having enough stock when they release something. So I don't think there's been a launch of a console that didn't have a shortage of them. And same happened with Animal Crossing when the game came out. Yeah. She belongs to my brother and sister-in-law. Oh, great. So she's in the family. Maybe she was a rascal back in her days. Yeah, quite possibly. Maybe as a kitten she was a rascal. My husband makes the same mistake every time. Which mistakes? An ironic name. I love the mom cat. I don't know if it's the mom cat or the sister though. But yeah, I mean I'm not too bothered. I have about 20 minutes to get this semi-completed of sorts. Let's do it. Oh, bye Mikey. Have a great weekend. Honestly, I'm almost ready to quit YouTube because the ads are getting so out of hand. A 12-minute video with ads at 2 separate points midway. But those ads are an hour long. Still skippable. What? Really? Okay, so Annette says my husband makes the same mistake every time. He shows me something he likes, like YouTube or the Supernatural, and I turn into a super fan. 26-minute video with 6 points of ad popping out throughout. Like I watched Supernatural season 1 to 8 in 3 weeks. A high five. I love Supernatural. I'm so behind on it, and I hate that I'm behind on it, but I love this show. It's so cheesy and good. But yeah, the ads are a bit intense, and I guess they really want to sell their YouTube Red subscription. But you can also get an ad blocker if that's really bothersome. What I don't get, honestly, is the very, very long ads, because you wouldn't get that on TV, so why is it okay to have those on YouTube, you know? Ah, man, Supernatural. I love that show. Like, it tried to be somewhat serious a bit in the beginning, but they really quickly caught on the fact that what makes this show so great is how cheesy it can be, and they went full steam ahead on the cheese. Yeah, I can't plug it on my phone though. Oh, that's a good point, yeah. The thing that really bothers me also is that the ads are never, like, the sound is never balanced with whatever content you're watching. So if it's someone a bit like me who's not super good at working audio, and say that the audio is a bit more soft, and then you have an ad with a really loud boom at the beginning and like super hip music and all of that, and you're just like, whoa, what's happening? Sorry. Oh, infomercial. Blah. Yeah, talk about the good time to go get a snack and hit the bathroom. Like, yep, time to get up and stretch my legs. Oh, dating. Okay, am I gonna be wild? I know I just painted the shirt, but I'm gonna try to leave a tiny bit of white in between. So I got a bit of a random question for you guys. Do you have colors that you just don't like? Like, regardless of where it's used? Don't know if I should write to Jackson or not. Regarding what? Regarding if they shipped the palette or not? I don't think that would be very useful, Paulo, because it seems like they just got perhaps some restock. So if you placed a pre-order back when they ran out of stock, they're not going to be able to tell you much. I mean, you could always ask for a refund, but if they haven't shipped out the palette, you're not going to get it. I really should find a place where I can watch Supernatural. I never got into it back then, but so many people I usually vibe with regarding TV shows like it so much. I think it's on Amazon Prime in Canada at least. Some people have it on Netflix. I'm like, why does Canadian Netflix not have it? Why? It's not over a month. Yeah, but did they ship it? Because I mean, it's a very peculiar situation at the moment, and I said in the beginning of the streams, I ordered these in April and I got them yesterday from Jackson. So transit is a mess right now. And if you write to them and you're unhappy and they haven't shipped out the thing yet, They will give you a refund. They're not difficult for that. But yeah, if it's in transit and it has not gotten to you yet, that's just the way things are because of COVID and everything. Alright, so far nobody have colors that they don't like, which makes me happy. Nope, I like all colors, not every color in every place, but to be honest for me, yeah, exactly, oh my gosh, that's so well said. But to be honest for me, there's a perfect place for every color. I agree so much. Like, there are colors that I wouldn't wear on clothing, but that doesn't mean I don't like them. Here's the thing, I like jaune brillant in mixes, but I can't stand that fleshy pink color. To 3 days shipping. Yeah, that's just shipping. That's like, we put it in the, well, that's now also, like, if you ordered it a month ago, things might have been a bit different then. But I mean, if they shipped it out, it's just gonna take a bit of time to get to you. I ordered ages ago, like in April. I have to check the envelope to see when I actually, that got shipped out of their warehouse in April, like mid-April or something, and it's just 3 tubes of my memory blue color. Because you've seen my memory blue palette, that doesn't make a lot of sense with all the muted colors and the oranges in there, so I wanted a few colors to complement it. I wanted one yellow, so I got yellow ochre, because it's my favorite yellow. Well, my favorite yellow in general. I needed the bright yellow lemon for these, but if I have like my most used yellow in this palette is yellow ochre, so that's why I picked that one. And then I saw that they have a neutral tint and Payne's Gray that are single pigments, and I was really curious about that. So I got these. The neutral tint is PBK 26, which was interesting. And the Payne's Gray, I don't know what it means, but it says Indaco Sintetico Vat Blue 1. So yeah, I don't know what that's about, but I wanted the tint because I liked everything about them, but they could have said anything. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm sort of used to having to wait for stuff that either comes from Japan or comes from further away, and it can take up to 2 months. So honestly, with COVID now, I'm not even panicking. Yeah, my review was lukewarm because it was such a weird palette. I think I saw it recently, so maybe it's nearby and I can show it quickly. Maybe not. Crap. I of course I decided to reorganize my palettes, and now I can't find anything there. Where are you? Wanna bet that it's not even in there? Is it one of those I took out? Oh, anyway. Yeah, so it was lukewarm because the color selection was a bit weird, even for me. And then you had something like 3 oranges, 4 reds, 2 blues, 1 blue, 2 greens, and 1 magenta, and some browns in there. Like, it was just such a weird color selection that it's not really something you can use for everything, really. I found I don't use much Hansa Yellow Light. I haven't found its place in my work yet. I use Windsor Lemon instead. Well, if there's this similar hue, you don't really need both, right? P3 is like this one. It's a really like, well, it's a bit on the cool side, but it's kind of a decent neutral yellow. I don't like artificial light green colors without the yellow undertone, so phthalo green, blue shade is not really your thing. Lemon yellow mixed with turquoise, cobalt, or helio gives lovely bright greens. That's true. That's what I get for organizing. Definitely. Aren't they also quite weak in a bit? Yeah. So maybe, hopefully the tubes will be better, because they don't, like the pans are extruded pans, so they have to make a formula that will hold its shape and hold, like, stay in a cake, but the tubes, they don't really have that concern. So if you can get tubes and put that in a palette and dry it out, usually you might have something a bit more interesting and easy to re-wet. So we'll see. And I thought also, by getting these colors, these are colors that, like I said, yellow ochre is my most used yellow in a palette, and the other colors are quite neutral, so I was not feeling bad about getting those. I was like, I could always use these in other palettes. And why is my computer falling asleep again? What's wrong with you? Oh, hold on. There's a bug issue. Alright, back. Sorry. The tallow green. It is a great mixer. On its own, it's difficult to use, but mixed with something else, it's quite nice. PY154 is the middle yellow. The Hansa Lemon PY3 looks almost green to me. Possible. The dried memory blue from tubes I am very content with. They're not mind-blowing, but lovely and solid. That's what I wanted to test out. So it was on my list of things to test whenever I get enough affiliate savings, so that I can, use that money to try things that I might not try otherwise. Phthalo green in the master one is fine, but like sage or pastel green. Okay. I see. The next color I'm going to buy is Violet Iron Oxide from Da Vinci. Are you based in the US? Just out of curiosity, because I feel like the Da Vinci colors are a really good deal if you are US based. But anything outside of that, the shipping is so bad. And I know a few Canadian stores that sell Da Vinci, but for the price they sell it, I'm like, do I really want to buy Da Vinci, or I don't know. I haven't found my hook into those colors yet. I personally find that the Da Vinci colors I've tried, they would sometimes dry a bit flat. Like the colors were super nice, rich, and vibrant when they were wet, but when they dried down, the intensity lessened a lot. But maybe that's just the colors I did try. Yes, all the 8 ml tubes is $5.50. Yeah, that's that's when it's worth it, right? Like with our current state of affairs regarding the currency, the Canadian currency, something that is $5.50 US is like almost 10 Canadian dollars, and then the shipping is just over the top. I am obsessed with cobalt turquoise. I buy every kind I can find, and bright pinks as well. Oh, we would get along on that, definitely. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Cobalt turquoise is lovely. Do you mean the greenish turquoise, or really the bright teal? I love both, but just curious. And the pinks. Oh my gosh, I love pinks. There's not that many good pinks in paints. I mean, we always have opera, and then a few magentas, and Potter's pink, and that's it. I don't think there's that many pinks. And it's a very difficult color to mix. You cannot really mix a pink. If you dilute a red, you don't necessarily get a pink. I was sent a few Da Vinci colors via Ev's Discord friends, and I do enjoy them a lot. I think they're weird, half pan size, and the two varied amount of paint in them are very... Yeah, the fact that they're filled by hand, I mean, Daniel Smith does that too, and they're consistent. I don't know what's up with Da Vinci. Watch Irit's YouTube. She just did a video about turquoise and has done one on things. We'll definitely watch that. She loves a good opera pink, so I can support that. They're speaking of cobalt. Let's grab a bit of it. They can fill by hand and not half-assed. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I would agree with that. Like Daniel Smith are filled by hand and they don't half-ass it, so... Coral quinacridone and cobalt pink. Cobalt pink? Is there cobalt pink? I know there's like a very light purple violet color, but is there pink? It's getting late here. Oh no. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's close to your bedtime, I would assume, from what I know of. I only just discovered cobalt green and I'm like, oh yeah, cobalt green, like the... Is it the really deep one? Like this palette has the deep one. It's this one here, which doesn't show on my swatch because I always swatch really intensely, but the granulation is amazing. The best cobalt turquoise so far was the Schminky one made from PG50. Yeah, I agree. It's beautiful. I only buy the tubes. The full pan of ultramarine I got from them was like basically 2/3 full. Yeah, they don't have any excuse for a pigment like ultramarine, honestly. It's one of the most affordable pigments out there. If you sell ultramarine blue, you should be ready to sell a decent portion of it. No cobalt turquoise. What's up with cobalt turquoise? Maybe PV14 is a kind of cobalt pink. Yeah, they have kind of a really purplish light cobalt color, but it's not exactly pink. I was really impressed with the White Knight cobalt turquoise. It's very, very fine. It's lovely, isn't it? It's such a good color. I'm going to head out early. Have a great weekend. Take care and goodbye. Oh, thank you so much for being here, Phoebe. I hope you have a great weekend as well. Hey, Eliza! Speaking of cobalt colors, Eliza mixes like amazing cobalt colors. They're so beautiful. That's one of the reasons I am on Dr. Otokano's Patreon. The dot cards are fantastic to try out paints from different brands without having to buy them all. I agree. It is really such a nice feature. I should join as well. It sounds like a way cheaper method. Yeah, definitely, by all means. I think our Patreon is just Otokano. Like patreon.com/Otokano. It's a really interesting thing to offer, but then again, I don't want to step on someone else's turf, so that's a bit trickier to figure out. Like how can all of us creators can offer things on Patreon without too much overlap, like without offering the same things? Because no one needs to like subscribe to 3, 4, 5 the same stuff on Patreon. My big experiment will be some lapis lazuli. My mom said it is a beautiful pigment depending on which one you get. There's so many grades. Like you can have some really grayish ones that will be much less expensive, and the more intense the color, the more expensive the pigment will be, because the process of extracting the pigment from the stone is really, really complex. There's a video on YouTube about that, and it is no joke. It's a really complex thing to do, and you don't end up with a lot of pigment from it. Also, if you are curious to see the dot cards that Otto offers, she made a couple of videos about packaging orders and preparing Patreon stuff in the past. So if you look back into her archive of videos, you can see exactly how they're put together. And yeah, it's not a dot, it's a really generous line of paint. I really apologize to my patrons because my patrons been a bit of a mess lately. But at least I managed to catch up on all the paintings I had to send out. I got a bit late in the month of May because of everything that happened, but now I'm all caught up, so thankfully there's that. I have made paints with colored pigment I bought when I was 16. It's a lovely earthy orange, or light brown with orange undertone. I don't know how light fast though. If it's do you know what the pigment is, or is it like unnamed, unlabeled? Does it have a pigment code? Because if it has a pigment code, then you can sort of check how how light fast the colors made from that pigment are. If it's kind of a hearth pigment like an ochre or a sienna or something like that, they're usually very light fast because of the fact that they're made from actual stones that don't fade under light. So there you go. I am using Schminke paints. I asked people to choose between Daniel Smith and Schminke 1. So that's what I'm using. Alright, so that's about done for this, and it's about 5, so this is about the end of the live stream. Do you guys have any questions before I finish this live stream? I will do the announcements I usually do while the stream catches up with the lag with what I'm doing. But if you enjoyed the kind of discussion and the kind of energy we have going on here on Saturday, feel free to join our Discord server. Discord is basically a platform for chatting with other people. It's really easy to set up, it's really easy to make an account. And over there we have a bunch of channels with different themes, so you can participate in discussions over there wherever you like. It's absolutely free and it's a lot of fun, so the link for that would be in the description, hopefully. And aside from that, the regular mentions of if you're curious about things like Patreon, you can check out Otto on Patreon as well. And yeah, I think I have a link to my Patreon in the description. I'm working on getting a few things set up on the Etsy shop that I reopened. I'm gonna have Animal Crossing stickers because I felt like it. I felt like doing it. I have a few originals for sale too on Big Cartel. I'm a bit spread out, which is not ideal, I know, but I'm working on it. And yeah, if you feel free to do so, please like this video. And also, quick notice, we finally reached 200 subs on this channel, which is awesome. I'm super glad. So thank you everyone for being part of this and being there every Saturday and chatting and being silly and all of that. So I hope you guys have a really nice weekend. A big thank you to Otto and Lise for being my moderators. Thank you for putting all the links up there. Lise, I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a nice weekend. We'll see each other next Saturday. So, bye!